Reluctant to even do this video because I don't think it will help my cause, but hopefully it'll clear up some of my words. The reason why I post some of the things that I post is because I want people to think outside the predetermined box. And the thing that I find, I find like I have extremely difficult time is trying to talk to fellow black people about certain things that go on and reading in between the lines of why they're going on. And I'm sure there's some people who, probably consider me to be a coon or whatever you want to call it. But at some point, a lot of people do a lot of talking. And that's one reason why I try not to even really comment too much about this on when certain things happen, when it's like police brutality and stuff of that nature. Now, some of the things that I've noticed over some of the past couple of stories dealing with police brutality, and especially with when there's black people involved, and when there's black males and when there's black females involved. And one of the things that I know, or that I've noticed, and I can't say that I know because I don't know all cases, but some of the ones that they've pushed out in mainstream media and tried to make us focus on the narrative of this white cop manhandling this black woman or this black man or whatever, is no matter what happens, we never want to acknowledge maybe our behavior, our demeanor plays a part in it. That's not to excuse the brutality of the police. They're technically supposed to be professionals, so it does not excuse. I'm not excusing their behavior. It's just disgusting the way these cops treat black people, and really all people, but primarily black people get the worst end of the stick by bar none. And all I try to do is I try to say, hey, I personally feel the reason why they feel like they can get away with killing black people, injuring them severely, but primarily just killing them, is because they see how we don't love ourselves. We don't love each other. We kill each other. And that's not to say that other races don't, but we glorify that crap. We have a music culture that promotes that. So that imagery, that mental image goes out all across the world, that we're about that life, and we'll take a life if it means we can stay on top, or we can keep dealing drugs, or whatever the scenario is. Now, I commented on this situation in South Carolina about that girl that got flung out of her seat. And I find it ironically convenient that whoever started recorded it right at the point of when the cop grabbed her and threw her out the seat. Now, the cop has a history of brutality. Apparently, he beat up a former Army vet or something like that, to the court. From some of the stories I read, that's what they're putting out there. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what they're putting out there. So if that is the case, one needs to question, why was this man allowed to keep his job, and why was he put into a school with children, and nobody wants to answer this question. They just want to look at the racial tones of it, and I'm saying look beyond that. Now, the other perspective that I'm trying to bring to it is, we don't know what the behavior, what was said, the attitude, the whatever that prompted this man to lose his temper, which like I said, is irreprehensible. It's not acceptable, and it's disgusting. But we don't know what was said, and we all know some black chick who got a mouth. That's the truth. And this is all I'm trying to say, all I'm trying to get across. We always feel like we can talk crap to the cop, we can spit on the cop, we can do whatever we want to the cop, and then when the cop overreacts, it's the cop's fault. It's like the equivalent of me going into the woods, messing with a bear, throwing stuff at the bear, and then when the bear kills me, the bear overreacted. And we have to also understand, we're not in our homeland. It's not like we're in some place called black people land, and they're coming in and doing this. And all I'm saying is think smarter, be wiser. Why would you provoke, if you know cops have, it's been known that cops get away with murdering black people and get off with maybe some light desk duty. Why would you put yourself and your life and the grief of your family losing you? Why would you put all that on the table and risk it? Because you want to be rebellious. But nobody wants to talk about this. Everybody wants to talk about what the cop did. That's fine. We could talk about what the cop did. But let's talk about the whole story. Let's talk about what was going on. Let's ask some people what was going on in that class other than her causing a disruption. What was going on in the class before the cop was called and he overreacted to the situation? I personally think he overreacted to the situation. It could have been handled differently. They could have called the child's parent and had the parent deal with him. You know, I don't know the situation. Maybe she's in a foster care. I don't know the specifics of that. But I think other than violence, it could have been handled a different way. But at the same time, if I know I'm dealing with a cop, and I have dealt with cops, especially a few times, I've been pulled over on dark roads with no lights, no nothing. All I got is the cops' high beams shining through my car. The last thing I'm going to do is try to provoke the cop. Now, some people might say, oh, you just being a punk. You just being weak. No, I'm self-preservation. I'm participating in self-preservation. I want to get home to see my wife and son. I'm not trying to die. I'm not trying to piss the cop off because I don't know what's going on in his life or her life. I'm not trying to piss the cop off and put my life at risk, and then I'm dead, and then what? Hashtags and online protests? I mean, it gets to a point where I'm almost tired of talking. I'm tired of speaking. I'm tired of trying to get people to think because they don't want to think. They want to be emotional reactors to everything. And everything is not, you should not react to everything with emotion. There should be some thoughts put into this. Like why it does the video, if all this is going on, and we've seen other videos on World Star Hip Hop, where people record for 20 minutes long. Why is it just at this magical moment, someone starts recording, and then the next thing you know, the cop yanks her out the chair? All I'm saying is, be suspicious of all things, especially these narratives trying to push racial wars. And I don't hate nobody based on their skin color. I ain't got time for that nonsense. And I'm not going to give space in my mind and my brain to go around hating people because of their skin tone. That's stupid. But I do understand there's an element out there that does do this. And they're trying to provoke martial law. And why I say the things I say is because I want you to think beyond just seeing a black chick and a white cop and a violent confrontation. Because nobody looks around and asks any questions. Why is this filmed in a vacuum? Because in its entirety, how it is now, it looks like dude just snapped and yoked her out. Excuse me. There's no context on what did she say, what did she do, and I'm not blaming her, but all I'm saying is there was something there to trigger that. and we missed it. It wasn't captured. And also I noticed they said that she was arrested or taken into custody. There also was a boy that was taken into custody. And I found it ironic that she was released to her parents, but he was taken in and arrested. How many of y'all knew that? But I don't want to make this long video, but I just wanted to clarify something. And I'm just tired of people treating me like I'm nuts, I'm crazy, because I'm not following the narratives. I refuse to follow the narratives because I've studied the U.S. history and that propaganda machine. They're using this for something else. I may not know what it is, but it's for something else. And people keep calling me crazy, and that's fine. Call me crazy. But when it comes to pass, whatever they trying to do, this martial law crap, because I'm telling you, the economy is going to tank, they're going to start these wars, and they're going to restrict your freedoms. So you better enjoy them while you got them. Because before any economic crash, things get way low. And I've been seeing gas prices drop. And it's dropped lower than it has in many, many years. Got gas the other night for $1.95 with a little discount. But gas ain't been cheap like that in a long time, since before I had a vehicle. So I'm just saying, think. It's not illegal yet. And if you think ill of me, you think I'm some type of coon, you think I hate black people, man, you don't even know who I am. Because that's the furthest thing from it. I'm trying to get people to think beyond what you see. Because I was there. I used to look at certain things and follow the narratives. But it's not. There's more to it than what meets the eye. And if you don't try to get a well-rounded perception of the situation, you're going to come to false judgments. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not blaming the girl. I'm primarily blaming the cop because dude overreacted. But I'm just saying there's some coincidences that's going on here that I'm questioning. But I guess that makes me a lunatic, so I'll be a lunatic.